No one opens the door for a native New Yorker. Okay, if you guys see me looking at the floor like I am right now, I'm actually looking at my laptop that's on the floor. That's the monitor for this. I wanted to properly record a video. Like, I know the back camera of the iPhone has a better quality overall, so I'm just gonna try to do this. If this doesn't look good, if this doesn't work out, fuck it. Anyways, happy day 15, I think. So today I thought I'd show you guys my vinyl collection. My vinyls are here on the floor. I have a decent amount. I don't have a ton. I just have a decent amount, like I said. I started getting stuff on vinyl somewhere around the beginning of high school, so maybe freshman or sophomore year. So it's been about 2-3 years now. Really, a lot of albums I really love, I'll get on vinyl, or if I'm just like at a thrift shop or a record store and they just happen to have vinyl for a good price, I'll get it. And again, I'm not a vinyl collector. I don't call myself that. I just get vinyls for albums I like. So the first one I have is actually Sunset Season turned 2 years. 2 years. Sunset Season turned 2 years old the other day, I believe. I bought this at Urban Outfitters, which I don't really recommend as a company, but I just love the artwork overall. I love the aesthetic. The picture, even the back, is pretty cool. You can't really see it that well. I didn't go shit, but yeah, I just love the aesthetic of it. It's a really good EP. I highly recommend it. There's only 5 songs in the EP, so if you're like, I don't really know Gordon Gray, I've never really listened to his music, or if you only know his new stuff, his old stuff is really good as well. He put this out senior year of high school, so considering how young he was when he put this out, he's still pretty young. How young he was when this came out, it's really good music. My favorite is probably, I mean, it's so hard, it's 5 really good songs, but I love Crush Culture. It's the first song I ever heard of Conan's that like I fell in love with, truly. I love Conan Gray so much. I only have one of his, I don't have Kid Crow on vinyl, unfortunately. Favorite song, Crush Culture. If you haven't heard any of Conan's stuff, I highly recommend Crush Culture, but also you probably heard Heather, which is on Kid Crow. Both pieces of discography are fucking great, but I highly recommend from this EP specifically Crush Culture. And this what's cool about this, it's kind of I don't know if this is Coke bottle necessarily, but there is a greenish tint and it's see-through, so it's pretty cool. I think it's super dope. I love getting special edition vinyls, like stuff that isn't just the usual like black plastic. I don't know what you call it. Again, I'm not a collector. I just get things I like most people. Now here is a vinyl that probably sold a lot of copies this year. It is the Fine Line album by Harry Styles. Again, I fucking love this album. I love the artwork. I love the concept. I love all the songs on this, thank God. I am a really big Harry Styles fan. Inside. Yeah, there's 2 records in here because a few of the songs, such as She and Fine Line, are 6 minutes, and so they pretty much take up a good majority of some of the sides. This is another, this one is for sure Coke bottle. It's a green tint, clear again. This is what both the records look like, by the way. Pretty sick. Again, I just love the look of the Coke bottle edition of like records. I think it's really cool. I love that the sleeves have lyrics on them. I just love the way you can format stuff when it's on vinyl. With downloads, you don't get like booklets and you don't get like lyrics and you don't get a lot of stuff, like a lot of physical stuff that's super cool. I think when I ordered this, I got a poster. But yeah, and it's just really cool and sleek. It's shiny. The artwork is pretty nice. Yeah, an amazing album too, music-wise. I fucking love Harry Styles. And this one, if you haven't heard somehow any of the songs on this album, you probably have. Adore You and Watermelon Sugar and Lights Up and Golden are all, oh, and Following Too have all been singles. You probably heard at least 1 or 2 of those. My favorite song on this album, personally, would probably be Cherry and Fine Line, but those are super sad. So if you're a first-time listener, highly recommend Lights Up, though. And again, keep going with Harry Styles. I have his debut album on here. I honestly love this album so much. My favorite song in here is Sign of the Times. It's the first song I ever heard of his that I just absolutely made me fall in love with him. I love the aesthetic of this album. What does it look like? On the inside, it's a big picture of him. Pretty sick, so pretty sick. I may say so, mate. What do the vinyls themselves look like? It is just a regular plastic. It's not see-through, but it is white. In the middle, it's got that like pink flower milk bath. Again, pretty cool. I love when it's just not the normal like black. It's actually a lyric booklet. Okay. I've never opened this. Holy shit. I've had this album for like 3 fucking years now. I never opened this. Well, there's a packet that's got some pictures on it. And also lyrics. I've never opened that. Holy fucking shit. Okay, well, I've had this album for 3 years and I've never opened it. Oh, and there's my redemption for a digital copy that I never used. I've had this album for 3 years and I've never ever took those things out, okay? And that's never been redeemed. And it's not valid anymore. Sick. Oh, I suck. Next. Oh, I got this one recently. Calm by 5 Second Summer. I like every album in this stack probably. I highly recommend this album. I love the art. I think it's super cool. It's a big juxtaposition to their old stuff. Like, sounds good, feels good, and self-titled. Again, great music, but super different sound-wise, look-wise. My favorite songs on this album are High. High is up there for me. Lonely Heart, Wildflower, No Shame, Red Desert. I mean, this is just bangers, honestly, on this album. It's bangers. This is the sleeve comes with. And oh, I forgot how cool this one looks. It is a deep blue. That's pretty cool. It's not clear. It almost looks like it, but it's not. It's pretty sick. I love this album so much. The fact that it just starts with a song like Red Desert is insane. That is such a banger. If you're a first-time listener to Five Sauce, I definitely say check out their new stuff, honestly. Their old stuff's pretty good too, but the new stuff is definitely a game changer for them and for music in general. But yeah, if you're gonna listen to them for the first time, I would definitely say High and Red Desert, and maybe even No Shame and Wildflower, really good. Those are some repeats for me, definitely. This is Greta Van Fleet, Anthem of the Peaceful Army. I don't listen to this album a bunch, but I will say it's a good album. It's got some interesting artwork. I think Greta Van Fleet's great. I am obsessed with their lead singer's just vocals. Yeah, and if I had to recommend something off of this, I personally love When the Curtain Falls. I think it's such a cool song. Greta Van Fleet, I don't know much about them. I just have this because I love this album. They're really good. They're a rock band. I wish I could be more specific genre-wise, but they are a rock band, heavily influenced by bands like Led Zeppelin. They're pretty tired of that comparison, but I'll just say that for the sake of this. It's on the regular kind of, black vinyl. Pretty cool. Pretty sick. Though, as a singer, I am just constantly in awe of Josh Kiska? I think that's the lead singer. All the vinyl, collectors are like, what the fuck is she doing? She's destroying that vinyl. Calm your tits, okay? Next one is the live vinyl of Panic at the Disco's All My Friends Are Glorious. I think this is a pretty cool album to have on vinyl. For me, I don't know why, it always struck me as kind of like a bit strange to have a live album on vinyl just because for the sake of the sound, but it sounds great. Again, Panic puts on a really good live performance. I've seen them live maybe like 2 times, and they put on a great show both times. They come in these sleeves that have pictures on them. It's on the regular black vinyl. It's a bit dusty, sorry. Haven't listened to this album in a while. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Panic is a music-wise super great band. Music-wise, but emphasis on music-wise. If I were to recommend something off this live album specifically, for a first-time listener, Miss Jackson, Death of a Bachelor. But you odds are you've heard I Write Through the Tragedies. Next one. Oh, emo goes to emo. I'm so sorry. I don't know the exact name of this. I know it's just like a re-release with some demos of the Black Parade album by My Chemical Romance. I remember when this came out, everyone thought this was a sign that they were getting back together, which they didn't know they would only have to wait a couple more years for to actually happen. But yeah, it's a cool little re-release of The Black Parade with a bonus disc of Living with Ghosts, which just has like demos and rough mixes on it. I think this is super cool to have. I remember this being expensive, like 30 bucks maybe. 3 records in total in it. It has this really big artwork in the middle because there's just so much room. We've got this artwork inside as well. I love My Chemical Romance. I'm really glad they're back together. Personally for me though, they were never like a gigantic part of my emo phase. I actually started listening to them like really during late high school, and by then I was already not that emo anymore. But mad respect to My Chemical Romance. I think they're a great band. Even if you're not like into emo music, they make genuinely good music. If you're a first time listener to My Chemical Romance, I really love I'm Not Okay. And I think Cancer is just like such a heartbreaking but beautiful song. Oh, okay. Moving into vinyls that are just older, as in when the music was originally released. So the first thing we have here, I got this from Walmart, and I think this is actually a super cool find that I did not expect to find at Walmart. Walmart sells vinyls apparently, and a lot of them aren't that bad. There are a lot of like your standard starter vinyls of like classic rock and newer stuff, which is nothing wrong with getting those vinyls or owning those vinyls. I'm just saying that if you're not super into vinyls, that's stuff you might want to start with. Or literally, if you're gonna get vinyls, why not just get vinyls of stuff you like? Don't be pressured into getting I don't know, some obscure vinyl just because people think it's cool. You're the one spending your money. You're the one having to play this big thing on some record somewhere, okay? But yeah, so this is the Breakfast Club soundtrack. I remember when I watched The Breakfast Club for the first time, in that same month, I watched it 13 more times. And I think the soundtrack is super sick. I think it's a really great soundtrack. I love the aesthetic of the movie. It comes on it's a special edition white vinyl. If you go to, I went to Walmart, again, like I said, to buy this, and there's a lot of just like special editions of some older albums that you can only really get at Walmart, which I think is cool. I checked on Amazon, and one of these was going for like 60 bucks for some reason, and I was like, okay, might as well get it for 23 bucks at Walmart. Rumors! I think this is an essential. I love the kind of social media renaissance that Fleetwood Mac has been having these days with the kind of witchy community. And with everyone in general, everyone my age, everyone my age is kind of really just discovering how cool Fleetwood Mac is. Again, a lot of our parents listen to Fleetwood Mac, so. And this is, as most people say, and I completely agree, one of the greatest albums of all time. Rumors is a complete triumph, considering how it was made. Yeah, this isn't like an original print though, of course. This is a reprint. I mean, a re-release? Re-something. It's the black little vinyl. Pretty cool, pretty sick, Mike. And yeah, it's just such a cool album to have on vinyl though, because if you're listening to it the way people would have listened to it when it was first released, it's like a cool little thing. You can really find this album anywhere. Target, probably at your local record store. Walmart, probably. Do I recommend a song from Rumors? Besides all of them, if you're a first-time listener, Dreams and The Chain. Again, 2 of probably the most popular songs off the album, but okay. The Beatles' second album. I love the Beatles. I think they are some of the best writers of all time. I have a really emotional attachment to the Beatles. My dad and I bond over the Beatles a lot. My brother was named Julian after John Lennon's son. This is again, like every Beatles album, probably besides Yellow Submarine, this is a fucking great album. If I were to recommend a song over it, I would say I love She Loves You. Again, a really popular one. And You Can't Do That. I think any song off of this album is a great one. I will admit though, they did steal a lot of stuff from black people, as a lot of musicians did. Elvis and John Lennon is not a great person, but the music itself is really good. Another Beatles record, Something New, the Beatles. This is a great album. I don't really know what to say. I think the Beatles are great personally, in my opinion, but if you don't vibe with them, that's totally cool. This is, oh, by the way, these ones and this one I got at like a actual like little record store. A lot of my records I get online on Amazon or like Target or Walmart. These ones I actually got from an actual record store. That's why there's little wear and tear on them. This might be like actually from, maybe I'm an idiot, but maybe from the 1960s? I don't know. I would believe it considering the wear and tear. Wear and tear. If I were to recommend some songs, I'd say And I Love Her and If I Fell. Great Beatles songs. And I Love Her. More Beatles. This is not an original print. This is a re-release of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which I will say is one of the greatest albums of all time. I think this album is a true triumph. I love the cover. It's a really famous cover, but there is a website where it kind of just breaks down who's on the cover, and you get to click around and see who each of these individual people are. It's on the regular black vinyl. This one came with some fun stuff in it, actually, though. It came with some sleeves that I'm not using for some reason. I believe you should use your sleeves. But it also comes with this little pamphlet talking about the cover, and oh, it actually comes with a little thing that outlines who each of the people are on the cover. So if you're interested, you can look at that. Also came with this cool little thing. These are cutouts, actually, that if you wanted to put on a little mustache, you could. I love when you get stuff that isn't just like the record itself, you know, especially with an album that has such a interesting history and making of. Pretty cool. This is the last Beatles album, Abbey Road. I'll say one of the best albums of all time. I keep saying that, but I swear it's true. I love this album so much. This is probably my favorite Beatles album, right next to Rubber Soul. My favorite song, if you're a first-time listener, I don't care. Just listen to Oh Darling. It's completely underrated. No one talks about that song enough. Paul's vocals on it are fucking insane. I love it because the whole point of that song was that he wanted to do it in one take because he knew if he couldn't, his voice physically couldn't survive past that one take. Go listen to it. This is on the regular black vinyl. I don't really need to show you, because you know what that looks like. Go listen to this album, but if you're not gonna listen to the whole thing, Oh Darling is the way to go. Pretty sick, pretty cool. Should I be more entertaining? Oh my god, let's talk about this. I don't know if this is actually like from the 1980. It doesn't have like any wear and tear on that, which makes me suspicious that it might not actually be from 1980. I don't know. It's probably not. It's probably pretty new. But I found this actually at a thrift store for 20 bucks. It's a Fleetwood Mac live album. Those words. Some sexy words. It's on the regular black vinyl. There's beautiful pictures of the band. I love Stevie Nicks. It's just such a good album. It's a live recording of one of their concerts. If I were to recommend a song, again, I think I said The Chain and Dreams, but off this one specifically, I mean, Landslide and Rhiannon. I'm just naming really popular songs of theirs, but I swear they're really good. I mean, Fleetwood Mac is popular for a reason. And those songs specifically are popular for a reason. Fleetwood Mac, Bare Trees. Okay. It was only 12 bucks. I have not listened to this album since I bought it. I'm hesitant to because it is one of the few Fleetwood Mac albums that doesn't have Stevie Nicks singing on it, which makes me question why I even bought it now, but I don't know if it's good, and I don't know what to recommend off of it, but hey, I have it. Okay, moving back towards the Beatles. I personally really like Paul McCartney's solo stuff. I love the stuff he did by himself. I love the stuff he did with Wings. This is Venus and Mars by Wings, his band, post-Beatles. It's a good album. I would probably recommend Treat Her Gently, Lonely Old People. There's a lot of wear and tear on this because I got this at an actual record shop. It's the regular black vinyl, I swear it is. The sleeve, I think the whole aesthetic of the album is pretty cool. It's got that really cool 1970s vibe. This is probably my favorite Wings album, Wings at the Speed of Sound. Again, I got this at an actual record shop, so there's some wear and tear on it. Probably my favorite Wings record. If I were to recommend Let 'Em In and Silly Love Songs. Silly Love Songs is a song that makes me super happy, and so does Let 'Em In. They're just super fun. The sleeve is just pictures of the band, some artwork. It's kind of, honestly, a little going into the genre, a little bit of like easy listening. Wings, the Speed of Sound. Woo! I Is this entertaining? I don't know if it is. More Paul McCartney, okay. I got this, 850. Pretty cool. Pretty dope. Again, I just love Paul McCartney, probably my favorite Beatle. Junk off of this album, Maybe I'm Amazed and Junk are super good songs off of this album. Probably if you haven't listened to any of Paul's stuff, go listen to Maybe I'm Amazed. Well, Wings, Back to the Egg. A good album. I don't know, none of these are bad, that's why I have them on vinyl. It's called Back to the Egg, and the first side is a sunny side up egg, and the second one is an over easy egg. The side one is sunny side up, which I think is just super funny. Oh, we're almost done, I swear. Queen, greatest hits, a great album to have on vinyl. Because odds are you've already heard a lot of these songs, so why not just get it? I look at this album sometimes, and yeah, this is Queen's greatest hits, but it's astonishing just how good every song on it is. Like, everyone knows Bohemian Rhapsody, everyone knows Somebody to Love, but there's also, like, maybe a ton of other songs that are literally, honestly, in my opinion, just as good. People don't talk about Save Me enough. Killer Queen is great. Queen, honestly, the thought of their existence is astonishing to me. They made such good music, and it was so complex. Yeah, I highly recommend getting this album on vinyl. Why the fuck not? The little artworks inside is just a bunch of pictures of them, and they're like past albums. It's on regular black vinyl. Buddy, work with me, get it. Okay, we're almost done. This is The Who, Who's Next? A very famous album I got recently just because it's a famous album. I literally have never heard any of the songs on here. Look at that wear and tear. I got it super cheap because of the wear and tear. I'm pretty sure it has router damage, but I'll tell you this. This is an album I got purely because I had never heard any of The Who's stuff. They're a really famous band, I know, but I've never heard of their stuff, and I was like, I know the cover, I've seen it a lot, why not get it? I know it's famous, I know it's something I'm supposed to have heard a long time ago, but yeah. Billy Joel, I am an innocent man, an innocent man. Copyright. $5, 1983, at a thrift shop, honey. Look at her go. Look at her go. Billy Joel is just an insane writer and like musician and singer. Oh my god. Would recommend. I mean, you probably heard Uptown Girl, but if you're a first-time listener, honestly, the longest time in An Innocent Man, which is the title song, to be honest, I had never really heard anyone talk about the song An Innocent Man when I would talk to people about Billy Joel, but then again, I'm young. It's also on cassette. It says on the back. But yeah, $5, thrift store. Frank Sinatra. Try Your Tenderness. I got this at a thrift store, I believe. I love this album. It's very soothing to listen to. My favorite ones on here are the cover of, it's cover by the way, he covered Try a Little Tenderness and Moonlight in Vermont. So good. I mean, the man's got a voice. The man's got a voice. The best of bread. I got this at a thrift store. I don't listen to it a lot, but I just like listening to it once in a while because it reminds me of my parents, and this is the kind of music they like. If I were to recommend a song, Baby I'ma Want You. Odds are you've already heard it, but it's a really good song. So yeah. Baby I'ma want you. Baby I'ma need you. Oh, the copyright. Scorpions, Love at First Sting. I don't know why I got this album. None of my parents listen to Scorpions. I rarely listen to this album. I literally got it because I was at their store, and this was one of the few albums they had over there that I actually had heard of, kind of. So I can't really recommend any of the songs on here because I haven't listened to it in a while, but, you know, if something costs $5, why not get it? The last album in my collection. Police. Outlandos de Amor. Pretty cool. Police are great. They have a really cool sound. You probably heard Roxanne, but if you're a first-time listener, I'd go back recommend it to you. Oh my god, listen to it. But I got into the Police kind of because I had only listened to a few of their songs, but then I, off of, oh god, which album is it? The Youngblood album by Five Sauce, there is a song called Talk Fast, and it really sounded like a Police song, and I was like, okay. I hope that was somewhat entertaining. Hope I didn't completely waste my time or yours. And yeah, I think vinyls are cool. If I know that there's kind of a lot of pressure to feel like if you don't listen to music off CDs or like, you know, vinyls, whatever, that you're not really listening to it. I don't think it's true. I don't think everyone can afford to like have a vinyl collection or get CDs. And honestly, I think it's completely reasonable to just be like, hey, I'm just gonna download stuff or stream it on Spotify because that is super convenient, or on YouTube or whatever. Do whatever you want. But yeah, I just get stuff with vinyls because, again, I like physical stuff. Out of context. I like, you know, like physically owning music. But then again, I thrift a lot of my stuff, and I do get it at actual record stores that sell used records. So I don't pay a lot for records unless it's a record that I've really been looking for. Like a lot of the newer stuff I'll pay more for because a lot of people aren't selling their used records or stuff like that. If it's like older stuff, like pre-1990s, and I find it in a record store, I'll get that because it's usually under like $10 or around that. But yeah, then again, don't feel any pressure to like buy vinyls if you're not really into it. Do whatever you want. Listen to music however you want. Just listen to music, honestly. There's a lot of shame, I think, that kind of happens when people own vinyls and they don't own like only like classic rock stuff or like stuff pre-1990s. Like if you have a vinyl collection and it's mostly or all new stuff, great, good for you, that's amazing. And if you don't, great, good for you, that's amazing. If you don't have vinyls at all, great, good, that's amazing. Vinyls are like a fun thing that not everyone has to get into, but if you want to, you should. And I think they're really cool because there's a way to make things work. You know, if you can't afford to spend $20 or $30 on every vinyl, then don't. Go to like a thrift store and thrift some vinyls, or go to a record shop that sells used records. You can get stuff easily under $10. Even really popular stuff. I got that Who album for like $5. I got the Wings records for like maybe $8. I think the Beatles stuff is more expensive just because it's so popular. I got that stuff for like $12 to $15. It's really only when you get into new stuff, like re-releases of like stuff like Sgt. Dr. Pepper and Queen's Greatest Hits, that you really start to get into that pricey area and stuff like that. It's not really like a big hobby of mine. They kind of sit there most of the time. They're cool to have, and I do like listening to stuff on vinyl if I happen to have it on vinyl. Hope you enjoyed this video. And thanks for spending another day with me. Bye. No one opens the door for a native New Yorker.